Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And this was this afternoon before the storminess moved in, and it was foggy to start our day this morning, and then low clouds throughout the afternoon before the rain and snow began to fall around north central Washington. This is a view, well, at least a part of the Wenatchee Valley, looking down from our Sky-Fi tower camera. It's up on top Wenatchee Heights. We call it the cross camera, and you can see lots of cloudiness out there today. And this is what we expect as we get into tonight. A pretty good wintry mix all over north central Washington, at least from Wenatchee north and especially west. I'll tell you what, if you're traveling on I-90 to Spokane tonight, really not too bad, but it's going to be a wet one here in the Wenatchee area with a good chance of rain continuing tonight. And look at that, up to a foot of snow expected in some mountain passes. And by the time we get to the weekend, here's our next storm. It's going to bring some windy conditions into the Columbia Basin and possibly heavy precipitation into the Cascades, where up to 5 inches of rain could fall this weekend. We'll tell you much more about both storm systems in your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations in Chelan and Douglas counties have shown slight declines in the past week after several weeks of sharp increases for both. More tests are needed before determining the cause of death for a veteran Grant County Sheriff's deputy who was found in his home last Friday. And the Douglas County PUD has decided to raise rates on data center and cryptocurrency customers. But first, we begin tonight. A police pursuit of a suspect's stolen vehicle Tuesday on Highway 17 between Brewster and Bridgeport ended when the driver went through an orchard and onto a dirt road before becoming stuck in snow on the edge of a ravine. Brewster police said the suspect and a passenger then tried to flee on foot, but were quickly apprehended. Police say the vehicle had been reported stolen out of Malott. There were no injuries. In other news, COVID-19 cases and hospitalizations in Chelan and Douglas counties have shown slight declines in the past week after several weeks of sharp increases for both. After the cases per 100,000 people in the two counties over the past 2 weeks surpassed 1,000 last week, that number slipped to 906 cases per 100,000 this week. That's still far higher than the health district's goal of 25 cases per 100,000 over a 14-day period. The number of people being treated for COVID-19 at Central Washington Hospital also showed a decline, with 33 hospitalizations as of Tuesday, 7 of those patients in the intensive care unit. Last Friday, there were 44 COVID-19 patients at the hospital. Today, the Chelan-Douglas Health District reported 55 new positive tests for the virus. On December 4th, the two counties reported a record 226 new cases. Well, more tests are needed before determining the cause of death for a veteran Grant County Sheriff's deputy who was found in his home last Friday. But Grant County Coroner Craig Morrison said an autopsy did not find anything suspicious. Deputies went to the home of 60-year-old John Melvin after family members became concerned that they weren't able to reach him. Melvin has been with the sheriff's office since 1984 and had planned to retire next year. Morrison said an autopsy was done Tuesday, but they won't be able to determine the cause of Melvin's death until his office gets all of histology and other testing back, which could take weeks. Douglas County's largest electrical consumers will see their costs rise in 2021. New rates adopted by the PUD earlier this year go into effect in January. High processing data centers will see a 5% increase starting on January 1st and July 1st, and cryptocurrency customers can expect a 10% increase for their rate schedules. Those industries are among the Douglas County PUD's biggest power users. The rate increases were passed back in January of this year, in part to pay for expensive repairs at Wells Dam. Coming up next, a new Chelan-Douglas Health District Administrator has been named. We'll tell you who it is. Engineering review costs of Wenatchee's Confluence Parkway goes up by $688,000. And the Forest Service is reminding people that once roads on the Federal Forest Service are covered with snow, 4x4 vehicles are no longer allowed, even if the gates on the road remain open. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
You love to help others. You need a solid career. You can have it all with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take patient vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain medical records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, visit chartercollege.edu because we work to get you to work.
Winter is a great time to trade in your current hot tub. Turn your old hot tub into money with Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa's trade-in program. You can save $500 to $1,000 off of any new artesian spa or take advantage of a free Bluetooth music experience. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa recommends draining your hot tub every 3 months. Ask us about our drain and refill special. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today.
Welcome back. In another news, the Chelan-Douglas Health District has had 3 directors since the COVID-19 crisis began earlier this year. Now, meet its 4th. Luke Davies, an Orondo native who right now serves as program officer for the University of Washington's International Health Programs. The 33-year-old Davies accepted the position on Monday of administrator for the 2-county health district. Former Administrator Barry Kling retired in July amid tension with members of the Board of Health that oversees the district. Nathan Weed is the current interim director. Davies has worked extensively in overseas, including providing health aid in Haiti after the 2010 earthquake. Well, the proposed Confluence Parkway traffic project for North Wenatchee Avenue has become more expensive, and 3 agencies have agreed to help the city pay some of those added costs. Link Transit, the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority, and Chelan County PUD chipped in almost $490,000 toward the needed $690,000 for a required environmental review. The Wenatchee City Council finalized those agreements last week.
I think the good news is we're moving forward on NEPA. We did get some significant contributions from both the port and Link, and the PUD is contributing, not what we would have liked, but their staff is doing a lot of work and working with our staff. So we sort of feel like this is a good spot for us. There's a chance that the scope will come in a little bit lower and the money will come in a little bit lower, but this is something we need to get to the finish line if we're going to compete at the federal level for the kinds of project. So it was a good summer as we got most of that money put together.
Our timeline now is to have the NEPA process completed in early 2022, allowing the license amendment by the PUD to happen by June of 2022. And so we are working backwards from there to get everything in line to make that happen.
The overall Confluence Parkway project is expected to cost at least $200 million if completed. The city has spent years seeking multiple federal grants to help finance that project. The Forest Service is reminding people that once roads on the federal forest roads are covered with snow, 4x4 vehicles are no longer allowed, even if the gates to the road remain open. Only snow recreation is allowed on the roads, including snowmobiles and cross-country skiers. Often the Okanagan-Wenatchee Forest Service roads are groomed specifically for snow recreation. The Forest Service said, though the roads appear stable, 4x4 vehicles can easily become stuck and damage those roadways. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Mary Maids of Wenatchee has been professionally cleaning and sanitizing homes and businesses in North Central Washington since 1998. Mary Maids uses commercial-grade cleaners and viricides. Mary Maids has implemented additional safety and sanitation protocols. They are strictly following CDC guidelines for the safety of their clients and employees. For expert help with cleaning and sanitizing your home or business, call or look up Mary Maids of Wenatchee to schedule your free estimate today.
I'm Shauna Pringle, and I'm the Assistant Regional Long-Term Care Ombudsman here at Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington. The Ombuds program serves individuals residing in long-term care. We are resident rights advocates for folks living in nursing homes, assisted living facilities, and adult family homes. Our region serves Adams, Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, and Okanogan counties. We are always free and confidential. Due to COVID, many freedoms have been restricted to protect the vulnerable from infection. Mandates and policies are ever changing. These are challenging times for all, but especially those residents living in isolation from family and friends. To understand more about resident rights, compassionate care visits, essential support visitors, please contact the regional program by dialing 509-886-0700. Ask for the Long-Term Care Ombuds.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. For once, Governor Jay Inslee had another topic to address yesterday aside from the COVID-19 pandemic. In a press briefing, he announced a series of climate action steps he plans to include in his budget proposals for Washington in 2021. In tonight's feature story, Inslee says the state can combat climate change that leads to wildfires and flooding while also creating good-paying jobs.
These proposals that I'm making today are comprehensive, they are robust, and they are appropriately ambitious because they're intending to meet or come very close to meeting our goals that have been statutorily codified by the last legislative session. And we have done some really good work in our state already. But it is clear that we need to move forward with these strong steps if we're going to meet our legislatively adopted requirements and our moral obligation to ourselves and our grandchildren. And we know that we can do this while we grow our economy. We already have 90,000 plus clean energy jobs in our state, and that number is continuing to grow rapidly. The top 4 categories in clean energy jobs are all in the building sector, meaning jobs for carpenters and engineers and many other professions in our construction and transportation industries. So the policies were announced today are based both in a respect for our health and our environment, but they are also based on economic principles and scientific principles. And our state has been successful in so many decades because we've embraced both concepts. We honor science rather than ignoring it, and we recognize a good deal when we see one so that we can grow what has been one of the best economies in the United States.
Time now to take a look at your very active North Central Washington weather forecast. But before we get into all those details, let's head outdoors and take a look outside our weather window. This is from this afternoon before the rain and snow started to fall all across North Central Washington. This looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights. We call it the cross camera, and you can see lots of low-hanging clouds this afternoon after a foggy start to our day. And I'll tell you what, those clouds clouds. It kept our temperature down today, too. We thought we might get to about 36 degrees. Didn't come close. 31, our unofficial high temperature, and that's just a degree below where we should be for this time of year. Just felt cold out there today, though, didn't it? With 90-some% humidity. 28, our overnight low, and that's 5 degrees once again above our normal low of 23. Record high, 58 degrees, and that was set back in 1999. How about that record low? 11 below zero, set back for the second day in a row, 1964. Sitting at 5.22 inches of precipitation since January 1st. Sunrise 7:43, and the sun set this afternoon at 4:11. Let's take a look now what we can expect as we get into the end of the week. We'll start with Thursday, and temperatures tomorrow, one thing you'll notice, warmer, and we will be warmer as some warm southwesterly air moves our way. Mid-40s for Moses Lake, 43 in Ephrata and Quincy, about 42 here in the Wenatchee area, 40 in Leavenworth, 41 at Entiat and Chelan tomorrow. But we could see some morning rain showers. Let's get to that surface loop now, and we'll show you the next couple of storm systems heading our way. Here's the area of low pressure right now that's bringing us all the clouds and all of the precipitation. Look at that all over Washington state. Much of it is rain, but much of it here is snow as well. We're going to see some heavy snow into the mountain passes, maybe 6 to 12 inches, so be very careful if you're traveling west. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies, a 30% chance for a morning shower, and warmer temperatures. We just showed you that with highs between 40 and 45 degrees. For Friday, mostly cloudy, a 30% chance of rain. It will be mild. I think most of the shower activity will stay to the west, but some of that may spill over the Cascades into the Wenatchee Valley, so that's why we'll keep that 30%. Saturday, it's going to rain, folks. A 70% chance of the wet stuff, and this yellow area, that is very heavy rain as that atmospheric river continues to bring that moisture into our area. Maybe a quarter of an inch possible in the Wenatchee Valley. For Sunday, mostly cloudy skies. We'll stay with about a 50% chance of rain, and it will stay on the mild side. In fact, Sunday, we're talking high temperatures in many locations near 50 degrees, so that'll be well above normal. For Monday, cloudy, a 50% chance of rain. Temperatures will be above normal, but once again, there's that atmospheric river bringing all of that moisture to us. Heavy rain down in the southwestern part of the state, but once again, about 1 to 2/10 of an inch of moisture for us. And then it all comes to an end, at least for now. On Tuesday, partly cloudy skies and dry. It will be mild too, but here's our next weather maker. It looks like it's coming our way late Christmas Eve and especially on Christmas Day. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast. Tonight, 31 degrees, so a little more mild overnight tonight. Going to stay kind of wet, though, until about midnight. Maybe morning showers, and 42 your high for Thursday. 39 with just a slight chance for rain on Friday, and then a wet one as we get into Saturday. Mostly cloudy, a 60% chance of rain. 45 degrees as we end the weekend on Sunday with rain in the forecast. Also some rain on Monday, but then by the time we get to Tuesday, dry, partly cloudy with a high temperature then of 40 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
When a community comes together and gives together, we can do great things.
Giving on a more of a community scale where we can pool resources.
They're more effective.
It takes a team to make something big happen.
You know people that are working towards that goal with you.
It amplifies your ability to have an impact.
A lot of people giving a small amount can make a huge change.
It's a great thing for the community.
Experience the difference in Manson at Mountain View Lodge, where you can park and leave your car and your cares behind. Your winter package starts at just $109, featuring treats from the Coffee Cabin at Rio Vista, Wine Girl Wines, and the North Shore Cafe. Call Mountain View Lodge and Resort or book online. Stay the night. Your room is ready.
It's the Ford Built for the Holiday sales event going on now at Pat Armstrong Ford. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Pat Armstrong Ford. Our deals are built for joy. Get 0% APR for 60 months on a 2020 Ford Expedition, plus $2,250 trade assist and 90-day deferred payment. Dash in for deals and save by the sleigh load. Unlock your Merry today at Pat Armstrong Ford. We are community strong in East Wenatchee.
Green Motion e-bikes have rolled into Wenatchee. We've got fun, affordable e-bikes for the whole family. Portable e-bikes that fit right in the trunk of your car. Fat tire mountain bikes plus unique vintage style bikes you won't find anywhere else. Get some exercise with pedal assist or just cruise up to 20 miles per hour with the throttle. Starting under $1,000, Green Motion e-bikes are affordable fun for the whole family.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. No matter what happens Saturday in Salt Lake City, it will be the final game of the 2020 season for the Washington State Cougars. Coach Nick Rolovich met with the media following yesterday's practice, saying WSU would not accept a bowl invitation. He says it's about what's right for his players.
I think it's been incredibly hard on these guys. You know, the uncertainty of, you know, what's going to hit next, who's going to hit what team. I think they all deserve a ton of credit. I'm talking about the players for getting to this point. You guys have no idea what they go through. I know not that's anything of your fault, but this is completely abnormal for them, and they continue to battle through to represent Cougs the best they can. I appreciate that for them. But, you know, bowl games aren't bowl games. They're really just another away game, it looks like. So all I can say is I appreciate the guys who have, you know, who've made it through, and I think they'll be better leaders because of this year. It was incredibly hard, but I think they'll be better, you know, future leaders of this world and their families because of the adversity they faced this year. That's how I want to look at it.
Rolovich says the decision not to travel to a bowl game if an invitation comes was a combination of both he and Cougar AD Pat Chun. Washington State and Utah will kick off Saturday morning at 10:30. You can watch the game on FS1. On the college men's basketball schedule for tonight, the Washington Huskies will host Montana at Alaska Airlines Arena. Tip-off set for 8 o'clock. Number 1 Gonzaga will finally get back to basketball after a shutdown for COVID on Saturday when it travels to South Dakota to face number 3 Iowa. That game gets underway at 9 o'clock in the morning on CBS. Well, the Seahawks are the only team in the NFL that has not had a positive COVID-19 test this season. As Seattle prepares for the postseason, the NFL has come out with its recommendations for teams on how to protect their players. The NFL is recommending teams not be in a bubble, especially sharing living space. According to the memo from the NFL, they believe the potential for a team outbreak is higher if players and coaches are living under the same roof. As a result, teams will have the option of providing hotel rooms on a voluntary basis. Seattle coach Pete Carroll says his organization is handling the pandemic perfectly and wouldn't want to change a thing.
We have this thing under control as much as you could, and our guys know how to do it, and our people know how to maintain it and orchestrate it. And you know, why would we? There's no way in the world we'd want to change. You know, so. Right.
NFL has also made arrangements to provide teams to two charter planes in a postseason to allow more social distancing during travel. Seattle will travel cross country to play at Washington on Sunday. Speaking of, the story unfolding in Washington has many facets. First, there was the controversy of the team dropping Redskins from its name, also dealing with sexual harassment within the workplace. Then new coach Ron Rivera battling cancer. Finally, the story of the remarkable return of quarterback Alex Smith from a devastating broken leg 2 years ago that nearly cost him his life. Coach Carroll says he's not surprised the team has rallied and is in a position to win the NFC East.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you could have a more inspiring, you know, story ongoing, you know, than they have, and I mean, that's just like you said, it's a human interest, and everybody can relate to what they're going through and what they pulled off. I mean, Alex's thing is well documented and extraordinary, and you know, to see Ron be able to withstand during this other stuff that's going on as well, to deal with, you know, his issues with cancer and all that, and pull through, but not just make it, you know, but to make it and excel. Both guys excelling at what they do. it's just as good as it gets in terms of inspiration and I'm sure motivation for a lot of people that are trying to make it through a lot of hard stuff. And both those guys have come across with such feeling and empathy and for others and willingness to share their story and all of that, it's really powerful.
Now, meanwhile, rumors have surfaced about Brian Schottenheimer being one of those sought after by Houston for a head coach. Coach Carroll says he's not surprised.
Yeah, I think he's an incredible candidate. I think he's exactly what coaches or owners are looking for. He's been around. He's been in charge. He commands the whole team with his leadership. He's got great background. I say that because I know he's been through our program for enough years that I know that he's got his philosophy in order. He's got his approach and how he would do it because we've worked on all that stuff, and so he's ready to go. We haven't talked about it this time around yet, but we've talked about it in the past, and I did hear that like yesterday or something like that maybe there's something up. So see what happens.
Seattle and Washington kick off at FedEx Field at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. You can watch that game on Fox. Hey, finally, I just wanted to take a moment to thank our ownership here at NCW Life Channel. Brenda Mandelis went around the office here earlier today and spreading some Christmas cheer. And with COVID and everything else going on, it's honestly been a little difficult to kind of feel that Christmas cheer. And she brought around some gift packets earlier and had some Christmas cookies and things like that. And I just wanted to thank her for that and thank management and ownership here at NCW Life Channel and LocalTel, our parent company, for all they do to make sure we stay on the air. This is a fantastic place to work, and 31 years of broadcasting for me, I've never had better management or better owners. So I just want to take a moment to thank them and wish them a Merry Christmas. That's a look at sports news. Grant, back to you.
Well, thank you, Eric, and well said. Brenda, you're the bomb. And finally tonight, it's a tradition every holiday season, a high school production of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol. But since live plays are out of the question this year, Moses Lake High School decided to produce their Christmas Carol as a podcast, done in the style of an old days radio show with voices and music. The school production is available in 4 parts on the official Moses Lake School District podcast, downloadable from Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Spotify, and Stitcher. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Join me for a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. we will be live from this very studio. We'll give you the latest weather forecast. We'll take you up to the major mountain passes if you have some traveling in your plans on Thursday. We'll have your latest news headlines. We'll talk about sports, previewing the upcoming Seahawk football weekend one more time. And of course, we'll have everything you need to start your day, including some fun stuff like Today in History and some celebrity birthdays and some stuff that's not so fun, like an opinion from Mike McNaughty. Join me tomorrow for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We're live and local at 7 a.m. right here on the NCW Life Channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Highlander Golf Course is proud to announce their 2 new state-of-the-art full-swing golf simulators with over 80 courses of virtual golf to choose from year-round. Or try their laser shot simulated firearm program, or gaming with football, basketball, and much more. Enjoy Highlander food and drink service from their full-service bar and grill in the comfort of their simulator room. Call the Highlander Pro Shop to book your time at 884-4653. That's 884-4653.
Hi, this is Rick Walkley, owner of Value Plus Medical Supply.
We take pride in our excellent customer service. In the medical supply business, it's important to know and understand the wide variety of customers' needs. We have a fully trained staff to assist you, a registered nurse, an orthopedic tech, medical supply tech, and EMT. We want you to have the best information possible to make a good decision. People come to us with their problems, and we have solutions. Stop by Value Plus Medical Supply on Mission in Wenatchee.